Public meeting to order, and our purpose today is to discuss and review 23 tax exempt applications pursuant to Idaho Code 63-602, and we have Connie here to help us understand what we are looking at. Okay, so I'm going to start with Connie.
Perfect. What do you got?
Mountain View Congregational Church.
Okay. I went through the list of all of the ones that were just on the thing and reviewed what we've had in the past and stuff. So if you have any questions, specific questions about each one, hopefully I can answer those.
This is a repeat, right? We've had this in the past. Okay. Any questions from the board on Mountain View Congregational Church?
Kind of being our first time with this process, will you explain a little bit how these guys apply and why they're there? And
so, to become an exempt entity, they have to make application with the board, and you guys have to grant those, and because you guys are the only ones that can grant exemptions from taxation valuation. So once a year, the clerk sends out the paperwork to the ones that have had previously, and the new ones that come into the county are just gonna have to learn on their own because we don't know. If we get a new quote unquote church or something, to a company, an entity that is got a church's name, we may bring it over to Jasmine, to the clerk, the secretary, and let you know that this is, and then she can put it on her list to send out the next year. But every January we send these up, you guys send these out. They need to, the law says they have to make application each year to continue that exemption. So at the end of, and I'm not quite sure on the deadline for that,
April 15th.
April 15th. If any of the ones that have been receiving it from last year, we work closely with Jasmine, your secretary, and we have a list of what ones they were last year. Any of the ones that have not been returned, we will put back on that market for that current year. So you guys just have to review all the ones that come through, and if for any reason that you don't want to exempt, that you don't want those to be exempt, then you just you'll deny them and we'll put them back on that market. We can tell you what we know about them. Usually it's not, we usually don't know much more than it's a church. And if one of our appraisers for some reason sees that there's a so maybe there's a parish house on there, and it's, we knock on the door and they say, I'm the renter. We'll come back and let you know that, what we know, but.
so then that portion would not be taxed.
Would not be taxed because it has to be specifically used for what the law is very specific about what it uses it for. So if it's not being used for worship center on that particular one, the parish house, I mean, whoever is running that specific entity can live there, but they can't rent it and get income off of it. So, pretty much that's the way with any of these. So
they have to be a nonprofit, right?
Yes.
Okay, or a charity, or
and you guys don't. The law specifically exempts cities and states. So state of Idaho, that's why we don't have 1,000 of these for the state of Idaho land that that we have in the county, and the cities, all the city lands. You don't have to get one of these every year because the law specifically exempts those. In the school districts, they're specifically exempt from making application. So
I see. Okay. And do we need to consider these and vote one at a time, Jasmine, or do we talk through them all and just pass one vote?
In the past, they've just discussed it, and then at the end, it's one motion, unless there's one you need to take out separately.
One motion. Okay. All right. Any questions about Mountain View? And I'm holding, and I'm confused. Looks like he filled out 3 identical.
They're all 3 different parcels.
3 parcels.
3 parcels, so you have to do one for each parcel.
Okay.
I'll look at that. Any questions about that church? Okay. And we can come back to it if somebody sees something, so I'll pass these around. The next one I have on the list is the VFW Post, and this is Osborne.
That's veterans of war, and that's part of it as well.
And they're just doing one parcel. Okay, any questions about that? That's not a new one, right? It's been on there before.
None of them are new this year.
We have no new ones this year, okay. Any questions about the VFW?
I don't on VFW.
Okay. Hunt cemetery, so cemeteries count.
Correct.
Okay. Now, on this one, I noticed they didn't mark where on Idaho Code that fits in. Where does a cemetery fit?
What are their options? I'm sorry.
That little option part down there, is that?
I believe it's either the B or the other, the last
Okay.
one. I would have to look at, or I didn't bring their extra application. Let me see if I have it on my list. I mean, if it tells me. It's, oh, here, I do have it. It's 602F. I'm sorry,
602F.
F, so it must be the other one.
So,
Other.
yeah, then you would just type the bottom and put F and over this section.
Okay, for cemetery. Any questions about the cemetery? So, and Jasmine, like you said, these are all repeats, so. Okay. Then I have the Wallace District Mining Museum, which I'm assuming is a nonprofit organization. Okay, fraternal, benevolent, or charitable corporation or society. Any questions about the Wallace District Mining Museum?
No, I don't.
Okay. Next one on my list is Emmanuel Lutheran Church in Mullan. Religious organization, obviously, and one parcel. Any questions about the church?
No.
Emmanuel Lutheran.
Please do
Are we
that.
getting them out of order?
I'm just putting
It's
it back
fine.
in order.
I'll put it back in order.
Okay. I was just gonna, I did it. That's what I'm fixing it. Okay.
Okay, next piece up, Church of Christ, Pinehurst, North Division, religious organization, one parcel. Any questions about the church? Feel free, Connie, if there's anything unique or special we need to know about. I have the Smelterville Lions Club, charitable, benevolent fraternal societies. And this one is signed by Jerry White. Is that the Jerry White?
Yes.
Okay, so this one's a little shady.
Yeah, and this one probably should be a 602C, if I remember right.
That's what he has
Yes.
marked down, 602C for the Lions. Any questions about the Lions?
No.
Okay, please keep those in order. Okay, next one is Shoshone County Horsemen's Association, 2 parcels. And this is schools and educational purposes is what this one is marked as. Any questions about the Horsemen's Society?
I understand, my understanding is they work with kids, right? Is that?
Yes.
And then that falls under the school? Okay.
And they have had it before.
They've had it since
Okay.
2005, and these are the
Okay.
2 parcels up the river.
Right.
Yeah.
To the
Okay.
arena.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, no questions on that one?
No.
Pentecostal Church of God, Smelterville. Oh, yeah, I should know that church. Okay, so this is 5 parcels. This is the Smelterville
Okay.
Church. Any questions about that?
The reason it's 5 parcels is when they built that, they built it in the middle of that block. It's all one block. They could combine that someday, but it's just, they're exempt, so they don't think about that, and it doesn't matter. It's
Yeah,
all
it
one
really doesn't
big
affect
parcel.
Because it eventually acquired it all
Yeah,
over
it's,
time.
in their head, it's all one big parcel, so.
Okay, Kellogg Senior Center, McKinley Avenue, Kellogg. Fraternal, benevolent, charitable societies, organizations. Any questions about the Kellogg Senior Center?
No.
Okay. Kellogg Elks in Kellogg, benevolent fraternal organizations. Anything about the Elks Lodge?
No.
Elks Lodge. Okay. Community Bible Church, Pinehurst, Idaho, that's the log church in Pinehurst. Any questions about the log church, 2 parcels?
No.
I have a question on, is dues and things like that, that's not considered income or, okay, so it'd be just like the Elks and,
Yep.
okay. So if it goes to charity, what they do, then it's basically all the money that,
If
They're
they have a
nonprofit.
602, if they file a 602C or, you
Okay.
know, they have to meet all the requirements of that
okay,
code, yes.
okay.
Yep.
So, just to make sure I'm clear, so when they file this, and we assume they're a nonprofit, who checks?
We do not check, so I would assume, you can, I mean, State Tax Commission has a website that does, you can check that easily, so.
Okay, all right. Well, we don't have any new ones, so I'm not as concerned about that, but I just wondered who's responsible for checking on that part of it.
That's a good question.
So there's a little
Yeah,
loophole there.
check on state website.
So, okay. Well, we have reviewed everything that we have in front of us, other than, we don't have anything new. Do we have any discussion or questions on any of these?
I don't.
No discussion or questions?
No,
Okay.
but I'd like to check out how we verify for future ones and
Right, so do you want to table today and verify, or do you want to?
no, I'm comfortable with what was
Comfortable with this.
presented, but
Okay,
Okay.
all right, I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve
As
our
listed.
tax exempt applications as listed pursuant to Idaho Code 63-602.
Okay, do you need those listed out, Jasmine, or is that
No,
clear?
I'll list them out in the minutes.
Okay, a motion,
I'll second it.
seconded, no further discussion? Any further comments from Connie? All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries, and the tax exempts are reapproved. And I would like to thank you for your assistance.
You're welcome.
Fine, Matt. We like to see you over here now and then.
Anytime
If you're
have
bored,
questions.
you just want.
Oh, I'd love to be bored.
I'm going to adjourn this meeting so we can get